new technology that we've developed and helped develop to help with the dogs being able to go through the masking agents, masking odors that we know the smugglers are using to mask the contraband to get it past the dogs, because the smugglers know that each Caribbean island has dogs. So what they've come up with is ways and means to mask that contraband, whether it's cocaine, marijuana, heroin, ecstasy, methamphetamines. They're using these odors to mask the contraband so that the dogs can't smell it. So what we've come up with is a process of teaching the dog to actually get used to smelling things like coffee, things like onion powder, paprika, crushed red pepper, spoiled fish, okay, grease, okay, creatine, just to name a few, Goya. So we're going to start first and foremost with, let's use some creatine. Creatine is used by smugglers to cut cocaine. So they'll take the cocaine, let's say they have a half a pound of cocaine, they'll make and mix it with creatine, and they will be able to increase the product in terms of how much more that they can sell. So that is something that we need to teach the dogs now to also recognize creatine. Okay, and we want to put some creatine in one of the vials, and guess what? The vial tells you exactly what you're using. So creatine. So we have a little bit of creatine here. Then we want to take the container and we want to open it up. And you notice there's 4 slots inside there. So we want to put the creatine in one of the slots. Then we can pick and choose which other masking order. The orders we're going to use, let's use coffee. Get a little coffee in here. I'm going to put a little coffee inside of the vial that says coffee. And we want to put the coffee again inside there. And then we're going to take one more distraction order, and let's use pepper. All right. So again, everything is marked. That's the pepper. Take our coffee and put that away. Red pepper. Okay, this comes close out, that's no problem. Now we're going to take the actual contraband, which is we're going to use marijuana, pseudo. Just put a little bit in there. Okay. And we're going to seal it up a little bit. And obviously it says marijuana. Real easy. So now you have your contraband target order, and you have your 3 distractor orders. And the beauty of this system is that you can mix and match any kind of distraction orders you want to use. Then all you want to do is you want to take this, seal it back up. You can leave off the cover, or as the dogs get used to working on this, we can leave the cover in. And then with this, we have now a device that we can place in warehouses, we can place at airports, we can place at ferry terminals to check luggage. We have something that now actually secures and contains all the orders, but at the same time, we are able to introduce other types of distracting orders for the dogs. When we first start the dogs off on this system, we want to open and take the covers off of the distraction order. Okay, put your vials back in, take your covers off. Take your covers off, then seal it, and then First couple of times we run the dogs in this, we'll leave the cover open. Then as they progress and they start to indicate and recognize the odor, which shouldn't be no problem for them, then we can put the cover, the centerpiece on, okay? That's very important. Notice it has holes, okay? And what this allows us to do is it allows us to put whatever contraband we want to put in this jar, seal it, including liquid, seal this up, and it's not supposed to spill out, which makes it great for training the dog and not having to worry about spillage. All right, so here is gunpowder, smokeless powder, okay? And we can put it in our jar. And let's hope this works. Turn it upside down, it doesn't come out. So we start to train our dogs on this to make sure that he's understanding the gunshot residue concept. We put this vial, jar, inside of the BSD system, the boxes, or the CAS system, whichever system agency have. Now you have this in the box. When the dog comes up and he smells it, boom, ball pops out. But what this also does is it enables us to bury the gunshot residue. So we put the gunshot residue in the aluminum container, which nicely fits. Seal it back up. And we now can, again, bury, we can hide. One of the things we have seen throughout the Caribbean is that the perpetrators are burying the firearms. In other words, they're sitting around a tree, police come up, they're checking for weapons, nobody has a weapon. Why? Because they are burying their firearms in a plastic bag in the ground. So what this system will help with is teaching the dog to indicate on the ground. We have another new product called GSR, which is short for gunshot residue. And what this does is it has gunshot residue on it. In other words, black powder, smokeless powder. In addition, it'll also help for the dog to detect firearms, ammunition, magazines, box of ammunition. So this is what the gunshot residue application looks like. And what you can do with these is you can put it up underneath a vehicle. You can put it up different places, that, again, the ferries or the airports. And this has gunshot residue on it, which helps the dog to determine and to search for that odor so he can get his reward. And one of these is good in terms of odor for lasting up to 1 year after you open. That's why we want to write on the package the date of the opening, and we normally keep it for 1 year before we change it out and get another one. So what the systems will help with is teaching the dog to look for GSR, gunshot residue, in the ground. Just an easy way, a fun way of having the dog hunt and search. As we all know, the dog searches because he thinks he wants his prey, which is his prey is his ball or balls. And that's another reason why we will distribute Pelican cases to each Caribbean law enforcement agency to put their balls in, and we can also put an odor in with the balls, that the balls soak and that the dog has fun, making it fun. It's a system that, well, nothing is 100%, but this is a system that we are now hoping, and it will help the dogs beat the smugglers, beat these masking odors. As everyone knows, that we are unable to travel to the Caribbean until things open back up. But when they do open back up, this equipment will be distributed to each Caribbean law enforcement agency that is our client. And we will also probably conduct a 2 or 3 day seminar on working with all the things that we discussed here, and for the benefit of the island, and the benefit of the law enforcement agency, and the benefit of the dog. Any questions? I think everybody knows how to get in contact with me. Thank you.